What is up, guys? It's New Age Bohemian. Today we're talking about Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Today I'm going to try to explain it, give a little summary, and teach you guys how you can use it on your day-to-day lives. So to begin, we're going to talk about what an allegory is. An allegory is a story, poem, or picture that usually has an underlying meaning, typically a moral or a political meaning. So to begin, let's talk about the summary. So the Allegory of the Cave pretty much begins with a group of prisoners. They have been stuck in this really dark cave their whole lives, since birth. And they have a fire behind them. This fire is casting shadows onto this wall. But this wall is their only reality. They can only look at this reality, so the shadows that they see, they perceive to be what is real. So they'll see a shadow of a flower, and they will believe that this shadow is an actual flower. So they will call these shadows flowers, even though it's only a shadow of a flower. All these pictures that they see on the wall are being controlled by some puppeteers, which show what they want to be shown to these group of prisoners. One day, one of these prisoners is able to escape. He gets unlocked, and he's able to turn his head for the first time. As he walks out of the cave, he sees that the fire is what was giving them the light, and he sees that these puppeteers were manipulating whatever they wanted these prisoners to see. So as he walks out, he finally reaches the end of the cave and he walks into the sunlight. The sunlight blinds him and confuses him really bad. He's confused to what is real and what isn't real, and he realizes after being blinded that the true almighty power of enlightenment, the power to be enlightened, comes from the sun. So the sun's a figure of enlightenment. As he walks out, he sees everything for the first time. He sees what real flowers look like, what real animals look like, what real horses look like, and what real people look like. Since he has never seen any of this, this is his first interaction with what is true to the world. Because when he was casted in the cave, all he saw was shadows, a mere reflection of what was true to reality. So this is his first time being enlightened. He then realizes that he's been lied to and tries to go back into the cave. When he goes back into the cave, since he's been used to the light from outside, he starts to tumble and trip a little bit as he walks down to the cave. When he finally reaches the cave, he tells everyone what is true, and that all of this is just a lie. But since he can't really see the shadows anymore due to the light that he's already been perceived, they think he goes crazy, and they don't believe him. But the truth of the matter is that he's seen what is true, but since he can't go back into the darkness and adjust his eyes again, he can't see what is false anymore. Everything becomes a little blur. So no one believes him. The next thing is symbolism. So the first thing that we have to talk about is the cave. The cave is the human experience, or our ignorance to many things. Not only when we're born, because we are born ignorant, we don't know anything, we have to grow up and learn everything, but sometimes as adults, as young teenagers, as dying human beings, we're ignorant to certain things because we can't know everything. But sometimes the things that we do know are actually false. The things we believe to be true are actually false. And so that brings us to our second point, the shadows. The shadows are mere reflections of reality. Sometimes we believe something to be true, but actually it's really not. Such as like little myths, your stomach, you can't swim for 30 minutes after you eat, which is a lie scientifically, to big things such as Santa Claus when you're a little kid. Many of these things are true lies that we tend to believe, which are just mere reflections of the actual truth. They're actually false. So the third thing is the chains. The chains that hold these prisoners up to only be looking in one certain way. That is our ignorance. Our ignorance as human beings and our closed-mindedness many times make us only look in certain directions, and they don't let us see the big picture. So those are the chains. And the last thing are the puppeteers, the people that control the shadows onto the wall. Three groups that this could correlate in nowadays. One would be our politicians. Our politicians make us look at certain issues in certain ways, depending on the politician you're looking at. So that's politics. The second thing has to be religion. Depending on the religion you follow, religion is not good or bad. It depends how you use it. But some religions make you have a closed-minded on certain topics such as homosexuality. The third one would be the media, or back then it would be the poets. They're the mainstream news outlet. Back then it would be the poets who write literature. Nowadays it's CNN, Fox, NBC. They make you look at certain subjects and certain topics in certain ways. So if you're looking at a Republican news network or a conservative news network, you're going to be able to see gun control from a different side than if you look at a liberal NBC or CNN, which is going to show gun control on a different side. So however you see it is going to alter the way you perceive it. So those are the puppeteers. They alter our reality. The next thing I want to talk about is a couple of lies that we believe to be true, but were actually lies in the long run. So Santa Claus, the war on drugs, that the government doesn't spy on you unless you have something to hide, that weed killers are good for the environment and are okay to eat, that prescription drugs are okay for you and that they have no real bad side effects, that marijuana is bad for you and has bad side effects, and obviously there's much, much more. The last thing I want to talk about is how we can use this allegory in our day-to-day lives. So pretty much the basic principle of this allegory is to not take everything for face value. So in our day-to-day lives, when you're given information through media, through education, through religion, through people's word of mouth, make sure that you don't take it at face value. You can listen to them and you can listen to their opinions, but you have to do your own research. You have to question your own things. The next thing is making your own belief system. You have to understand that we're all individuals, and I am a strong advocate of making your own belief system, not just taking one philosophy, one religion, one way of life, just mixing everything together and things that work for you and you think will work for you, and taking chances, taking risks, being able to make this own bridge of yours into a nicer, more happy lifestyle, and being able to be the happiest person that you can be. Once you reach these enlightenments, or not really enlightenment in the Hindu or the religious way, but an enlightened way where you understand what's truly happening and you're happy, not to let those things make you upset when people don't understand them. Many times people will not understand what you're trying to tell them or the practices that you're in, and it's 100% okay as long as you understand why you're doing them and you keep working for that goal that you have. So I want you guys to make sure that the education in your life is in your hands. Not only the education you learn in school and books, but the education of you being a person, keeping your own happiness in your hands, making sure your life is stress-free, and making sure that you're in charge of your life. So thank you guys for watching today, and make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my links below. Make sure you guys check out my last week's video about the Trump inauguration and my welcome to my channel video. And I'll see you guys next video.